Welcome to IST Presents. I'm Chippy Buenafe. To own a business is perhaps a dream for many of us. However, we do not have a clear idea on how to get things started. And even for some of us, we may have started it but failed to sustain it. How difficult is it to start and sustain a business even away from your place of birth? Our guest for today shares with us some ideas on how to become an entrepreneur outside of the Philippines. Jomar Battung is the founder and managing director of Lasercraft Mechanical Services, a laser cutting and metal fabrication job shop for construction, interiors, and advertising businesses. He is a mechanical engineer by profession, finishing his degree in 2003 from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Jomar, welcome to our show.
Hi, Chippy. Thank you for inviting me to your show. Hello to all the listeners.
Okay, great, great.
Hi.
So
Yeah.
we're recording this, and you are actually based in the United Arab Emirates, which is 4 hours behind the Philippines, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm based in Dubai.
okay, you're based in Dubai. So maybe as a start, could you describe your journey to UAE? How did it start? What was your motivation, perhaps?
Okay. I started way back in 2004 when I was a fresh graduate. So I started very early. Um, I went to Dubai in 2004 because I had a girlfriend who's working in Dubai.
Oh,
So my primary motivation that time was love. so so then I followed her to the UAE and turned out to be good because right now she's my wife.
oh,
So
congratulations.
yeah, yes, thank you. And of course, every OFW's motivation is also to have better pay, to look for better pasture, to way back in 2004, the fresh grad mechanical engineer, which is under board. I did not take the board exam actually. I was fresh from college. The salary was in the that I was offered because I don't have a license is in the 15-25,000.
Okay.
And compare that in Dubai when I arrived in Dubai. Compare that to Dubai, which at that time I was getting like 30 to 40,000.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's almost around double.
Okay,
So that's those are my motivations
okay.
for coming to Dubai.
And how has it been so far? I mean, when you came to UAE, you arrived at UAE, or pretty much 1 year from college, how was it? Was it really a difficult journey? Did you struggle a lot? I mean, at least to your advantage, you have your girlfriend back then with you who was supporting you
Yes.
emotionally, right? But how was it from a professional standpoint?
Okay. From that going to Dubai with nobody, uh, you don't know anybody.
Mhm.
Then it is really hard. You are on your own. You're in a new place. You don't know. You don't even know how to speak
Oh.
their language.
Mhm,
Yes, and it came as a shock to me. So,
mhm,
but then I had to be strong. I have to have faith in myself that I can survive this because really your back is against the wall. You don't have any fallback really. You
mhm,
come to Dubai with $100 in your
mhm. Oh,
pocket,
wow.
and then you have to find a job. Luckily, I found a job within a week. You know, the
Mhm,
first job that I applied to, I was accepted. So then I had to take the first job that accepts me, and from there I had to work on um, keeping myself stable in Dubai.
okay.
Yeah. And luckily also in Dubai, there are many Filipinos here
Mhm.
by that time already. And that time, Dubai was booming. Construction
Okay.
industry was booming.
Okay.
And so there are many opportunities
Okay.
that time in Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I was at the right place at the right time.
Okay. So that was probably perfect timing for you. Um, in
Yeah.
what year did you actually decide to say, okay, I'm gonna start my business. I'm gonna start it here at UAE.
Yeah, I started thinking of having my business. I started in 2007, 2008. 2008, I did some dry run of the business. And I have worked for from 2004 to 2007 already in the same business. I was working as a production engineer in a water jet cutting job shop. So we
Okay.
cut metals using water, high pressure water. So we cut metals. So um, I was in the production, and then later on, after more than 1 year, I moved to sales and repairs of the same machine, water jet machines. So in 2007, I thought, okay, I think I know the A to Z of the business already. I know the technical side, and I know the business side of it. So I thought I should start. Partly also because of the I'm not very good at uh, staying in a organization because of the politics.
Mhm.
And also, I wanted to be my own boss and get hold of my own time. Yes.
That's right.
And so I started the same similar business of water jet cutting job shop.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you came to UAE at around 2004. You started to think about having your own business at 2008. What were the initial challenges that you encountered when you were starting your business?
Yes. Since in my business, the you need to have a machine, and the machine is not cheap.
Mhm.
Uh, the machines are worth $150,000
Wow.
each just for the machine. Yes, so you really need a lot of money to start the business. But to me, I did not really uh, buy the machine, so I thought of new ways to to make the business work.
Okay.
Which is instead of buying a machine, I rented the machine
Okay.
and yeah, started doing business and make the business pay for the rentals of the machine until I
Mm.
save more money to buy my own machine.
Mhm.
So yes, so that is what I did.
So
And of course,
yeah. Okay. You rented the machines first, and then you make it work for you. You earned some money there, and then with the money that you've been able to save up from that initial run, you've been actually able to purchase your own equipment, right?
yes,
How long
yes.
did that happen? How long did that take?
Okay, it took 5 years.
Whoa. Okay.
5 years. Yes, yes. Actually, when I calculate it, um, I could have bought like 5 machines
Mhm.
when you add up all the amounts that I've paid to the rental.
Mhm.
So it took me 5 years to buy my own machines and to move out to another place and set up my own place.
Mhm.
And yeah, I paid a lot, but really the cost of the opportunity. Imagine if I waited for the time to buy my own machine and then start from there, then I could have lost 5 years already
Oh,
or
that's true.
more. Yes, yes. So yeah, I started by not thinking about buying the machines. I started by thinking how to offer my services to the market right
Yeah.
away.
And it's good that you mentioned getting your services out to market right away. I mean, how do you manage getting customers at the start? What was it difficult? Did you have to rely on somebody to go to you for as customers?
Actually, I was in the same line. So we are talking about entrepreneurship. So it's very tempting to start something that you see in the market that is oh, this guy is doing nice, so I should do the same business. I should be in the same business because he's doing nice. So it's not really that kind of thinking is not really good. So
Mm-hmm.
in my case, I was already doing it. I
Mm-hmm.
was already good in the business. I have already the contacts from my previous jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why getting customers is not really hard for me because I'm
Mm-hmm.
already well known in the market that I
Okay.
am giving these services. So when I contacted my customers and told them, hey, I started my own and I'm doing this, doing that, and so my old customers were eager to bring their business to me. So
Yeah.
you can say that, yeah, you can say that I already had a ready bunch of customers to start with.
Okay, I mean, I would have to ask, how did your previous employer react to that?
Okay. Actually, I told you I was in sales before. So I was selling the machines. And when I started my business, I was doing the service. So there is not really my previous employer was really happy that I started my own business.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, because I was using their machines.
Oh,
I was using their machines. I was buying spare parts from them. So they were really happy.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yes, yes.
in effect, it really did well with your previous employer. Um, are you still
Yes.
in touch with your previous employer? Do you have a good relationship with them still?
Yes, yes, of course, of course. I have very good relationship with my employers. They even call me for things like, oh, when they have some problems with their machines, they are actually not based here in UAE,
Mm-hmm.
so they have machines here, and they ask me technical questions. Sometimes they say, okay, the my customer's machine is down, so could you help them take their job and do it in your workshop, like that. So then I do it for them. I do
Oh,
it for them.
okay. What about employees? At what point in your timeline when you set up your business did you realize I need to have employees? I need to start hiring people. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, of course. Nobody is in my line of business. It's labor intensive, I can say. You really need to use your hands to work to deliver the service. So I really had to hire some people, but I did not hire people to do the job that I cannot do really. So I hired the people, and uh, at the start, I already hired one person to work for me as the operator of the machine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, and currently Lasercraft has how many employees already?
we are 25.
Wow, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And how is it day to day for you? I mean, if you were to describe a typical schedule of your workday, I mean, how does it look like?
Okay, now not now in the time of COVID, I'm
Yeah.
at home, but still, I work at 8 o'clock, 8 to 5. I try to do everything from 8 to 5. But here in UAE, actually, it's the timings here are very flexible. I get calls at 12 o'clock p.m. A.m.
Wow.
I get calls very early in the morning for deliveries because we serve the advertising construction sector, and here in UAE, these sectors run 24 hours.
Wow.
So we have to you have to serve them all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, I still receive the customers customers queries, and I work like as a sales also,
Mm.
and I hired people in accounts. I hired people to do production, but I still overlook everything.
Wow. Okay.
I am trying to right now. I'm trying to distance myself from the business, but it's really, really very hard.
I can imagine. I can imagine. And you were mentioning that you had to service customers at weird hours of the day, at night. How does that impact with your own work-life balance? Are you still able to enjoy activities, things outside of your work, outside of your business?
Yes, yes. Actually, that is one of my motivations is to get hold of my own time. But I learned later on that being an entrepreneur is a 24/7 job.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so what I do is I try to keep a schedule
Mhm.
so that I try to have a normal schedule, 8 to 5 job, and then if and when I have calls in odd jobs of the day, I try to pass it on to my people.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I do it myself, and now my family understands that. My family understands that I'm an entrepreneur and I have to work at odd hours. But
Mhm.
really, it's not really that much now. But before, really, I work like 24 hours. When I started, I just went home to take a bath, have
Mhm.
2 hours sleep, and I go back because I was running at the start at 24 hours a
Wow.
day. I
Wow.
was running my business 24 hours a day. Yeah.
And how has that affected you personally as far as health is concerned? I mean, I suppose you still find time to take care of your own wellness. How do you manage that now?
Yes, I exercise, and since also my job is a little bit physical, it's not just sitting in the office.
Mhm.
So I get my exercise also in the work,
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay.
and uh, with the family, yes, I try to. We are off here on Fridays, so I try to be off on Fridays.
Mhm.
Okay, even only half a day, and sometimes also on Saturdays I take off. So at least I take a day off every week.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, Now that you've been in business for 12 years running, right? What are the key lessons that you've actually learned about being an entrepreneur, especially being an entrepreneur outside of the Philippines?
Okay. See, maybe you're thinking that the being entrepreneur outside of the Philippines is hard for a Filipino.
Mhm.
But really, what I felt is that it's harder to do it in the Philippines.
Okay.
Primary, yeah, primarily because of the mindset also. Because here in UAE, if you're in a foreign land, you rely only on yourself. You cannot rely on anybody else. You cannot rely on your family. You cannot rely on your neighbor. Yeah, or on your cousins, because here in the foreign land you're alone, so you rely only on yourself.
Mhm.
So that's really a very, very good mindset for an entrepreneur. To
Mhm.
be an entrepreneur, at the onset you should be ready to take on everything. You
Mhm.
cannot rely on anybody. If you
Mhm.
have to sweep the floor, you cannot think, oh, I am an entrepreneur, I am the owner of the company, I cannot sweep the floor, it's too lowly for me. No, it cannot be like that.
Mhm.
You have to sweep the floor because you cannot rely on anybody. So you have to do all the jobs from A to Z. That's the first thing.
Mhm.
And be starting a business here in UAE is actually the paperwork is actually easy
Mhm.
because you can do it online now. Uh, it's there is less red tape,
Mhm.
and really here it's very easy. You can start a business in 24 hours. The paperwork, I mean, the paperwork.
Mhm.
But on starting the actual business, it's really hard because you have to rely only on yourself.
Mhm.
So that is first lesson is to be prepared to do everything by yourself. And number two, of course, to start a business, to be an entrepreneur, you, as I said a while ago, you cannot just copy someone else's business. no, because you have to know your own strengths, your experiences. So you have to start your business in that by using that. So if your experience is in engineering, like me, I was in engineering. I was in services of job shop, metal cutting job shop. So I started that business because I know that business by heart. Yes, and very very important is also managing your cash flow. So it's very very important to always look at the money, not looking at it to spend it, but to use it to grow your business. So you have to guard your cash flow, and if you're not really good at accounting, so you can hire an accountant, or like me, to maintain my accounts, I married an accountant. So I guess that's, that's a plus point for me. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, those 3 points.
Yeah, okay, great. I mean, it's great that you've emphasized the need for personal responsibility, taking the initiative to run things on your own as much as possible, and really having
Yes.
that mindset of being a master of what it is that you're doing, okay? And using that as
Yes.
your
Yes.
primary source for your entrepreneurial engine for your business. And lastly, you've mentioned about cash flow. So I hope you're still given some allowance, right?
Lately, no, because I'm here at home. So instead, I'm giving you food. I'm giving you a nice bed to sleep on. So no expenses, so no allowance.
Great, great. Well, you know what, Jomar, it's been a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Chippy. Thank you. Thank you. See you and stay safe.
Thank you. That's
Bye.
Jomar Battung of